fantastic. Well, let's take another run at this, and you got this. The floor is yours, my friend.
I swear, after take 3, sometimes you get there, and we definitely did. All right, there we go. I'm not hearing myself. We are ready to cook. Hello, guys. My name is Zojalyx, and I am very, very excited to bring to you Star Wars The Force Unleashed, any percent, no mission skips. This is a game that I've been running for a long time, probably since, I think, like, spring of 2019, somewhere around there. And we're going to be running no mission skips. Yes, that means there is a mission skips category. So that is exactly what it sounds like. A runner by the name of Pessimist broke the game and made it where you only need to play the prologue and the last level. But this is not what that run is going to be. We're going to be not skipping anything, and we are going to be going through and doing all of the missions. So without further ado, we're going to count us down, and then we're going to get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I do just want to, and I didn't start the actual timer because I didn't turn on global hotkeys, but that's okay. I just want to let everybody know as well that the incentive for having C-3PO fight Darth Vader at the end of the run will go all the way up until the final mission. So please, guys, do continue to donate for that. We've been getting some incredible donations so far, and it's just been absolutely amazing. So to be able to see all of the donations coming in, not just the big ones, but even all the small ones, is always just helps to increase the ability for a child to get adopted. So continue to donate. And here we are in our game. So we are going to be starting out here in the prologue. We are going to be playing as Darth Vader. And Darth Vader is a very, very, very slow moving character. He normally just walks, but it is faster if you jump. So enjoy the most terrifying thing ever, which is going to be Darth Vader jumping through Kashyyyk and getting to the very end of the level. So there's going to be a lot of that. It is very cursed, and that is okay, because that is what we appreciate about some speedruns, is just how absolutely weird they are, especially with Darth Vader's cape physics not really knowing what they're doing. So this game is very, very interesting because it was built across 3 different physics engines when it came out. I don't know exactly what all those physics are or what they all affect. I'm not that smart. But there's a lot of various physics, and so you're going to be seeing game terrains and things interact in a very, very weird part of the game. So, yeah, basically with this run, this game is an action RPG with some platforming elements that are mixed into it as well. So you'll be seeing a lot of combat, a lot of really interesting movement, and just overall a very, very fun speedrun. This game is also very accessible. A lot of the run is just kind of knowing where things are, as well as hoping that the enemies will cooperate. Here's some Wookiees that really just do not know how to ride elevators. There you go. Just falling all over the place. Poor guys. I don't know why they built an elevator if they don't even know how to ride in their own elevator. But here we are. So we are going to actually be coming up onto our first boss fight here in just a little bit. And with this boss fight, there's going to be a specific strat that I'm going to be going for to stun lock our boss to try and get him stuck. And hopefully we can prevent what I like to call a desperation move, because I'm also a Kingdom Hearts runner, or what people call a DM for short. Basically what that is the boss will go invincible and do this really, really powerful attack. But we are going to do this very specific combo to try and get him stuck. So I'm going to have to focus up here so that way I can focus on it and make sure that I do it properly. Also, I apologize if the game is super quiet. The audio balancing in this game is not very well done. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start off. We're going to throw our Jedi over here. Oop. He's not okay. Okay, we're doing good so far. So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing 2 slashes and then kind of animation canceling by blocking after the second slash hits. And that keeps him stunned. And now I'm just going to focus and maintain this. Cool, we did it. That's exactly what that strat is supposed to look like. I'm very, very happy with that. And now, because this game came out in like 2000 something, I don't know exactly when this game came out, if I'm being completely honest, we finish off every single boss fight with a quick time event. And that one is just X and then mashing the B button. And so we're just going to be finishing this guy off, and then we'll be actually moving on. So what happened right there is Darth Vader jumped through Kashyyyk and killed a Jedi and is now kidnapping his son. And now we are going to be playing as that said kidnapped son. So this game, right now the game tells you, hey, you should this is how you use Force Grip. And we're like, no. We're going to go into mission select and just select the next mission. And that will then bring us into this cutscene, which is unskippable until it is skippable. So what you see down in that bottom right corner, that is our loading screen. So I'm sitting here mashing buttons to try and skip the cutscene as soon as possible. Because once the level is loaded in, then the game will allow me to skip the cutscene. So during a all holocrons run, that is when the runner named Pestilist was going through the run, was literally just messing with his control stick, and when he was skipping that grip tutorial, and he realized that that the game was playing the wrong cutscene. And so then when he kept messing with it, he then realized that upon further messing with it by Pestilist and another glitch hunter named Hotshotwire, they then discovered that if you mash hard enough, you can skip all the way to the Death Star, making it cutting out literally about an hour within the run.
7.
And so now we are here, and we are going to be showing off every single level, because honestly, in my opinion, I do enjoy this category a lot more. There's a lot more things that you can do in it versus in any percent, where a lot of your run just gets determined by how good your final boss fights go. So this is Starkiller, that boy who is kidnapped. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. We have been trained to be Darth Vader's secret apprentice and to be like a Jedi assassin. Well, Sith assassin, because we were supposed to be going through and killing Jedi. And so we are going to be doing that. Now, my instructions by Darth Vader were to leave no witnesses, but like all Sith, I don't really follow directions very well. Actually, I don't know if that's even a Sith thing. I'm just speaking out my bum. But anyway, we're going to be going through and grabbing a couple of these holocrons throughout the run. These holocrons are the collectibles in this game, and they have a bunch of different things that they can do to make the run just a little... to basically kind of affect Starkiller. Some of the things that they can do are... they can... give you some EXP, they can give you some combo points, basically, or they can give you some, like, concept art or costumes or things like that. We are just going to be going through and grabbing all of the ones that will be obviously more beneficial throughout the run. So this is kind of our first little out-of-the-way stop. We're going to be coming over here and grabbing this Force Combo Sphere, and what this Force Combo Sphere then lets us do is we will be able to then get Dashing Blast. Dashing Blast are going to be our main form of movement. As you saw, we were doing a lot of just force dashes, but now when I dash by hitting left bumper and then I hit B while dashing, that then uses a little bit of force and then allows us to do our Dashing Blast. We move just a little bit faster, and then we make our way and travel just a little bit farther. Now, there are a lot of areas within this game where the console version differs from the PC version. There's a bunch of different ports of this game. There is a PC port, There is an Xbox 360 and PS3 port that is slightly different than this run. There is a Nintendo Wii, a PlayStation 2 port, a PSP port, a Nintendo DS port, and I believe there's one more port for like this like really old phone system that I don't even remember what exactly it was. So this game got a lot of ports. And each version has slightly different things. So there are multiple different subcategories depending on the version of the game that you are running. The PC version is, I don't want to say it's the least glitchy, but it's definitely on the lower end of glitches. If you want to watch a crazy glitched run, I highly recommend watching the New Game Plus record for Xbox 360 and PS3 by Pricey But Icy, because that is a very, very, very broken run. But either way, now that we have everything that we need, we are just going to be making our way to the end of the level here to go into our first boss fight. There's still just a little bit left in terms of level traversal, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the wonderful Maddie Inc. for any announcements or anything like that while we traverse through the level.
Absolutely. Well, I don't have any donations for you, unfortunately, but you in the audience, you can change that. Did you know that this is running for reals and we are raising money for the Real Hope Project, a organization that helps kids in foster care get adopted. They do this by creating short videos like the ones that you've seen playing in the intermissions, which help give a little bit more personality to each child and let the adopting families get to know the child a little bit better than a paragraph on a page. So that's what we're here raising money for, and you can help support that by typing !donate into the chat and getting a link to our Tiltify page. Any amounts are appreciated, and I hope to be reading a few off here shortly.
Awesome, thank you so much. We are going to be doing another quick menu here to grab a Saber Mastery. We got a really, really lucky thing where the TIE Fighters all just kind of exploded, which then gave us a Force combo, a Force Talent Sphere. So we were able to increase our lightsaber damage going into our first boss fight as Star Killer, which is against Rom Coda. Now, Coda's fight is very, very random. A lot of the boss fights in this game are unfortunately quite random. Thankfully, some of the later boss fights have become significantly more consistent, but Coda's still remains to be one of the more random fights in the game. So what's going to be happening is we are going to be trying to take Coda out by using a bunch of Force Push here just to keep him stunned, and it's not working out in the best moments. So this is where a lot of the randomness comes in, because we want to get him to fall on the ground. So a little unfortunate, as this is the first instance of us getting him on the ground, but thankfully we are able to do it now, and it did not work out well for me at all. But that's okay. We just keep kind of fighting him here, and we should hopefully be able to get him on the ground and do some damage. So what we need to do is we need to get him on the ground, and we just need to get a lot of stabs off. So as you can see, once I got him on the ground and I'm able to do an impale, wow, both of those missed. Okay. Which version is he doing? Okay, he's doing that one. So we get him on the ground, and then we try and stab him. Now, stabbing him is the fastest, it does the most amount of damage, and since we were able to get that Saber Mastery, we're able to do just a little bit more damage. But as you can see, sometimes the geometry in the game just does not want to be your friend. So we're going to be finishing off Coda here with our quick time event. Wasn't the greatest fight in the world, but that's okay. That does happen. So now we have gotten a level up. The game forces us to go into our Force powers here, but we can use that to grab our Force Affinity upgrade. This is just going to allow us then to get everything that we need basically what it does is it sets us up where our Force will regenerate slightly faster. Slight little bit of hydration there for my sparkling water. Make sure you guys are staying hydrated throughout this marathon. I realized today that I've only eaten breakfast today, which was not smart, but that is where I'm at. So, it's great. But either way, we are getting ready to go into our next level, Raxus Prime. Raxus Prime, we are going to be hunting down Kazdan Paratus. He is another funky, he's a funky Jedi, and you'll kind of see he's got robot arms, and he really likes to use technology and stuff. So we are going to try and hopefully get this skipped here so that way we can show off the level. But this level is got a lot of actually some pretty cool movement, so I'm really hoping that I can kind of do everything that I gotta do to show all that off, and then we can show just some amazing I mean, this game has, I don't know, a lot of times I tend to ramble when I do solo commentary, but this game has a lot of really cool moments, like this little skip here, where we can just, a small little skip. There's not really any major skips in No Mission Skips, which I'm kind of okay with. It's part of the reason why it is my favorite category, because it's just a few skips here and there, nothing crazy that is like completely game breaking, whereas any percent you are just saying, hey, I don't even want to play the video game, I'm just gonna go where I want to go, which is cool. But at the same time, I like to play parts of my video game, and I like to play the video game, not a lot of, and some, which if you don't want to play the video game, that's perfectly okay, you can play any percent, but I enjoy playing the video game. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so we're just traversing through. So one of the things I have yet to talk about is our worst enemy in this game, and that is the physics. The physics and the geometry. That comes down to the doors, rubble, any little thing, because a lot of times they tend to just act as if they have a mind of their own, which is fine, but it does just kind of tend to make our lives just a little bit more difficult if the geometry chooses to just, have a mind of its own and make life just a little bit more difficult. But thankfully, it hasn't been a bugger so far, which is what we like, because that just allows us to get through the... Yep. As I say that, this door decides to be a little bugger. But that's okay. I'm so sorry, Mr. Jawa. I meant to do a dashing blast there, and I ended up taking you out. And I apologize. I did not want to do that. Alright, so we're actually going to be coming up on the, one of the... I think there's, 3 major skips in No Mission Skips, and I will not be doing one of them because it is a very, very, very difficult skip, and I have yet to actually get it in a run, and I don't even get it that often in practice. Oh, okay. And we slipped. It's fine. Alright, oh, don't tell me I'm about to die again. Okay, that would have been real silly. So the skip that is coming up is called Titan Room Skip. So there are these enemies in this level. They're kind of like mini bosses. They're called Junk Titans. And there's going to be one room that the game forces us to fight them. And obviously, if we can avoid it, we want to avoid fighting it. So we will. So I'm going to go and I'm going to grab a couple more holocrons and deactivate this shield here to bring us over into the Titan room. And then we're going to do a very specific combination of jumps to be able to skip it. And what's going to happen is I'm going to do a lock on, because when you are locked on in this game, you are put in a position where you're facing the same direction. You don't have to be necessarily locked on to anything, but if you are holding the lock on button, then you are stuck facing the direction as long as you are holding the button. And that works out for us because we can strafe just slightly farther than if we were to just do like a basic jump dash, which is really weird that that's the way that this game works. But, you know, I didn't develop it, so I can't really say too much of anything. I am the exact opposite of a game developer. I don't push the buttons and hope it works. I push the buttons and giggle when something happens, because I just get that dopamine rush from the from all of the areas of visual stimulation that comes from gaming. So this is going to be where our Titan room is, and I'm going to so we're going to come over to a specific position. So basically the Titan would spawn once we force that thing over there that is holding, that is glowing blue. But if I lock on here, jump, dash, double jump, and then dashing blast, boom, we clear the gap and we don't have to fight a Junk Titan. If you're watching, like, just PB attempts, you would look at that and be like, what? Oh, I totally missed a jump there. Nice. Thankfully, I don't have to do a Titan skip again. But if you were watching a PB attempt, you would be seeing everything that is happening, and you wouldn't even have any idea that a skip just happened. But if you've played this game before, then you know that, hey, that actually is a skip. And you would then understand what happened. This is one of those games where sometimes you don't realize that you're doing a skip until the skip is already over, which is kind of cool, but also, like, for some people it kind of, like, ruins the cool, because they want to get, like, see, like, the jankiness, of a skip. There we go. Grab that. Alright, so we're going to do another upgrade here. I'm going to upgrade my Force Lightning, and then I'm going to grab... Oh, hello. I'm going to grab Sith Slash, and then we are going to put on that Lightsaber Power Crystal. So that Power Crystal, what this does is it will affect our lightsaber just slightly. This one will add like a little bit of extra electrical damage to... our lightsaber attacks. So now, when we fight Kazdan Paratus, this really freaking weird Jedi who's kind of gone a little crazy.
I'll defend you from this Sith trash.
This is my least favorite fight in the entire game, because it is very inconsistent. When I talked about the janky physics, this is the fight where it definitely comes into play. Because we're going to be trying, once again, to get the... stabs here. Wow, I actually got a stab. That's pretty incredible. But in order to get a stab, we have to stun Kazdan Paratus with lightning, and then we can pick him up, and literally we just pick him up and drop him on the ground. So it's really cool, and you can see how much damage that did, but sometimes even if you do get a stab off, it doesn't always work. So now we have to fight these Junk Titans, and this is why we got our Sith Slash, because basically what this combo is it is me doing X, Y, Y on my controller, and that will stun lock the Junk Titan and allow us to just take him out very, very quickly. Kind of a cool little thing. And then while we've got Kazdan Paratus up here, we're just going to blast a whole lot of lightning at him, because it does affect his health. So that means we can work on getting him over to... Oh, I didn't have enough force to pick him up and drop him. That was a little rude for trying to stab me there, buddy.
I will stop him, Master Yoda. I will.
I don't know what he's doing. Okay, he is advancing. So we're getting our next Junk Titan. Now that we've got him, we can actually continue to zap Kazdan Paratus. So if you look, you can see I will come over here, do one Sith Slash on the Junk Behemoth, and then I can come over here and keep zapping Kazdan Paratus. Now, we don't want to... We are going to try and kill Kazdan, essentially getting him to where all we have to do is our QuickTime events while the Junk Titan is still alive. Which is why I kind of alternate between doing one Sith Slash, running over. Okay, that should be more than enough damage onto Kazdan Paratus. So now I just need to focus on this Junk Titan, and he's deciding to spin himself right round like a record baby, but that is okay. So we can just do this, and then the game wants us to do a QuickTime event. quick time events are slow on the Junk Titan. Now we can finish him off, and now once Kazin jumps back down, we're right into our quick time event to finish him off. Overall, that's one of the better Kazin Paradas fights I've had. So definitely no complaints. Also, Starkiller's not overpowered the way he's able to suspend himself in midair and throw a giant turbine at the boss, but, you know, it's fine. Alright, so we're going to get ready to go into our next level, Felucia, and while we are in this load, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Maddie. I really hope y'all have been donating for that C3PO incentive, because it's real funny.
Unfortunately not yet, but they're biding their time, I just know it. In the meantime, if you'd like to, you know, while you're donating to C3PO Kill Darth Vader, you can also, at the same time, put that same money towards one of the polls and influence one of the future runs here. We have Muppet Race Mania for Which Muppet with Gonzo in a commanding lead with $25, and nobody else has earned anything yet. Earthbound to select the special guest. Your choices between Doggo and the Flying Man, Picky, Buzz Buzz, and Bubble Monkey, or Tony and Dungeon Man. I'm tracking your location. Lastly, we have Lord of the Rings, Gollum, and the choices between Save or Kill the Bird. I think, given Gollum's personality, my choice would be towards saving the bird, but we'll find out what y'all decide. Also, Zojalyx, how did you get into running this game?
Okay, yeah, so it's actually kind of a really cool story. So I grew up playing the Wii version of this game, and this was like the second game I think I ever played through in a single, played through to completion in a single sitting, was the Wii version of this game. So not this port, but I actually started running this port because I was interested in running this game. And then I was actually going to run Spider-Man 2000, the game that Spyron ran, the previous game to the one that Spyron ran earlier today. I was going to run that game at a marathon called PACE, which is run by Global Speedrun Association, but I needed help with fundraising. And so the way that I was able to get some help fundraising is I set up games that I would be speedrunning and like learning the run for, based on the donations and subs and everything that I was going to be getting. And this was the first one on the list. So as I was getting all of those donation rewards and stuff, I then went and picked up this game. I was very excited because, like I said, I love this game. I love this series. I love Starkiller as a character. And so to be able to speedrun this game was kind of a no-brainer. And so I picked it up and learned it, and it's been super fun. I have held some world records in one of the main categories. I did used to have the world record for any % no mission skips on console, and that was super fun. It's such a great category, and I might actually even consider coming back to it. It just is super broken because of some of the skips, and so like it kind of has gotten to a point. One runner named Pricey by Icy went through and absolutely destroyed it, found just crazy uses for some of our glitches and made it just an absolutely redonkulous speedrun in one of the best ways possible. I definitely recommend watching his run because it is a fantastic speedrun to watch. So yeah, definitely recommend it. So yeah, that's how I came to speedrun this game, and it has been super cool. I mean, if you guys have any idea who I am, you know that Star Wars games is one of the main series that I run. I've been running Star Wars games since early 2018, and will continue to run Star Wars games just because they're super fun. And honestly, at the moment, there has yet to be a bad Star Wars speedrun that I've seen. Actually, no, that's not true. I did a run of Kinect Star Wars, and that is not a very good Star Wars speedrun. But that's just because it's a Kinect game and it's not a good one. I actually was the marathon closer for the Kessel Run, which is a annual Star Wars speedrunning marathon where the Star Wars community will just show them off around May 4th. It's a super great marathon, but yeah, it's it's that particular run of Kinect Star Wars is a body breaker, and it is not a well-designed game. But that's okay. All right, so we are getting into our next boss fight, Shock T. Shock T is an interesting boss fight. So now that we have something that allows us to be able to make our fight just a little bit more consistent, and that's an ability called Force Repulse, which is basically Starkiller's like most iconic Force move, which is where he just stretches his arms out and Force explodes around him. So we are going to try and make the Force explode around us to knock Shock T onto the ground, and then we are going to then, once she is knocked on the ground, we can then rush over and stab her. But the downside is sometimes you can fling her off the ledge of the arena, making it where she does not want to cooperate and do the things that you need her to do. And then she'll go into this weird like invulnerability state and summon these Solution Warriors. Thankfully, we're getting both of them out of the way. This is just her phase 1. We just need to get like a little bit more damage on her. Whoops, I jumped on the little explodey thing. Pay attention to those explodey things. That are on the ground, because yes, they are going to be very, very relevant come phase 2. Okay, so we got her into phase 2. And now that we are here, we're going to drop down to this Sarlacc pit. Going to do one more repulse, which is going to knock her into not the best spot, but that's okay. Once she flings back, we're going to get even more unlucky. And we're going to get tentacled. So she's going to use these... Wow, this is real unlucky. So what the goal is here is Hello? Please? There's those explodey thingies off onto the side, and that's what I'm trying to get her towards, but apparently I guess we won't need them. But she did not cooperate the best, but that's okay. And that's sometimes where this fight can get a little bit out of hand, because she doesn't always like to go to where you need her to go, and then you just kind of have to hope that she does, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is one of those instances where it didn't work, but that's okay. And this is now the longest QuickTime event in the game. But either way, we're just going to be finishing off this fight and then moving on to the next level. So, Maddie, you can go ahead and take it away if you would like.
Sure thing. Well, I think if you've been enjoying what you've been watching here so far today, yesterday, and possibly tomorrow, we're going to look into our crystal ball and imagine the future of you enjoying this marathon. You should donate. $5, $10 is all we ask. If you've been enjoying it, we would appreciate a little extra in the hat. Also, if you're just interested in general, type !Discord into the chat to find a link to the Discord where you can come hang out with all of us fine folk and know what's coming up with the next marathon.
The Emperor. Return to my ship at once. We will
And then another question for you, Zojalyx. I've been seeing you pick up a bunch of things as you've been running through the different stages. How tight is the routing for all of the different power-ups?
Oh, that is an interesting question. Yeah, so I've been picking up all these holocrons. I honestly don't know. So the route that my notes are for... So this game has gone through a lot of different changes recently. We used to, for a long time, just run off of the in-game time instead of RTA, because running off of RTA means that you have to have a really good computer in order to do well. But the problem with in-game time is that any time that you were not like in gameplay, the timer was paused. So you could theoretically abuse sitting in a menu, or if a fight didn't go well, you just reload checkpoint and the in-game time didn't count at that point. So kind of an unfortunate standing for running, because it was hard to actually make a run that that was a true full single segment run. So the route that I am using is based off of Pricey but Icy's personal best, which was retimed for loadless, but it is meant for an in-game time route. So our route, I feel like, for this run can be changed quite a bit. We just need to look at what are the holocrons that are good, which ones are not. My PB kind of did that, but I won't say that it was the best, because I just was kind of like going through a state of improvisation for it. Just kind of mainly grabbing a few ones, because there's a specific ability that we do want to get at one point in the run called Saber Slam. And so we need that ability for sure in order to make the end of the game as consistent as possible. But it's not always the easiest to be able to get the holocrons that you need for that.
No sign of any pursuit.
For that. So kind of like finding the most optimized ways to do it can be a little difficult. But we are figuring it out as a community. There, thanks to Lifelike, who ran any percent at AGDQ 2024,
for the first time in my life.
or SGDQ 2024. Just ran it a couple weeks ago, and I highly, highly recommend that you guys go and check out that run. There's been a little bit of extra interest in the game right now, and so if you guys are also interested in routing speedruns, this is a great one to pick up. I'm sure there's a lot of ways where this run can continue to improve and get better. We just haven't found the right way for it yet. So join our Discord, pick up this speed game, and enjoy picking up something that is honestly, it's a great speedrun to learn. It's really easy to get into, and so I definitely recommend it. So in this level, we're actually right about to go do a skip. I've been talking a lot and completely forgot that I have to explain how to do this skip. So we picked up this ability called Aerial Strike. Oh, okay. This guy, fine. He's going to be my person. That was rude. All right, come here, buddy. Come here. You're coming with me. So we're going to pick this guy up, put him way over here. This is extraordinarily unlucky. Come here. So we're going to pick this guy up on like the fourth. This is a guy we're going to pick up. We're going to suspend him in midair. We're going to aerial strike to him, and I did not get the right spot. That's okay. So earlier in our last level, we picked up an ability called aerial strike. And, oh my gosh. Come on. I need to reload this checkpoint. And it's fastest to reload a checkpoint by changing costumes, as long as you do it properly. But we picked up this ability called Aerial Strike, which is where if I am locked onto an enemy and I jump and then I dash, we will immediately lock on to said enemy. I'm just going to get rid of this guy. And by doing that, then we can just yeet ourselves toward them. So by suspending an enemy in midair, we can yeet towards them and jump across that gap, skipping a major walk-around section. And since we didn't get it first try, then we will just be Ghost Star Killer here. This ghost costume does not affect anything. So it will not affect, like, we don't suddenly become invincible just because we have like a Jedi ghost aesthetic going on for us. Okay. Oh, that guy's dead. So now that Uggernaut is dead, because those are the only two enemies, we're going to come over here to where this shuttle is going to land and put ourselves into a specific position here, because our boss fight is going to start right here. Wow, I am getting sniped. And this will then spawn a Shadow Guard. And this Shadow Guard is a very obnoxious enemy. He's kind of a weird little mini-boss kind of thing. I don't know. We'll be fighting Shadow Guards twice. But basically, we are going to repulse and try and get him on the ground. Now, sometimes he doesn't like to be repulsed, so we can also do just a regular actual grapple and throw him. The problem is dude gets flung so far that you have to be so precise to actually get to him quickly. or you just can't throw him that far. But it's not always easy, and especially since sometimes there are these guys shooting missiles that can make things a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I'm just going to start getting rid of some of these missile guys while I wait for the Shadow Guard to get up so we can quick time event and finish him off. Kick him up in the air, blast him with some lightning, and that finishes him off.
It's a fool's errand.
And now we are going to... oh, by the way, the Jedi that we killed... yeah, actually, the very first boss that we killed, yeah, he's actually alive now. Coda is alive. Instead, he is blind. And now he is going to train us to be a Jedi. And you're probably wondering, wait, I thought you were Vader's secret apprentice. We are, but Vader betrayed us and literally stabbed us in the back when we were about to kill the Emperor. And then Vader saved us, and so now he's going to use us to rally the Emperor's enemies, so that way we can provide a distraction to the Emperor.
Patience, boy.
In order to then strike at him. This is definitely not some sort of way that Vader is continuing to deceive us, so that way we can just get all of the Emperor's enemies together and then just basically do his dirty work for us. That doesn't happen at all. Vader cares about us. He's a wonderful mentor. So now we're here at Kashyyyk. We are back to the planet where Starkiller was abducted from. So that was a quick cutscene where Starkiller talks to his Force Ghost dad, and then kind of, I think, has some sort of weird revelation that maybe Vader isn't always truthful about stuff. But then he also just like doesn't want to believe it because it's Vader and Vader is his friend. Well, not his friend. What am I saying? Vader's not a friend. I don't know what exactly he's trying to do. He's trying to make himself believe that Vader cares about him. This sounds so terrible, but Starkiller gets absolutely manipulated and deceived. And we're just gonna open this door because Starkiller doesn't believe in knocking or doorbells. And then we are going to make our way through. As you can see, too, while we are here, I'm starting to use the aerial strike as some extra little bits of movement. It's super nice because you just kind of instantly dash to some areas, making it much making it where you can get to areas faster and not have to use any of the force. So I can aerial strike to this guy. For some reason, we have to kill this Royal Guard here before the game will let us progress. Don't really know why, but hey, again, I'm not a game developer. I just play the game and play it kind of fast. So, oh yeah, we just saved Princess Leia. That was the whole reason that we're here, is we need to save Princess Leia so that way we will... make Senator Bail Organa become our friend and join our Rebel Alliance. And then we're going to try for a skip. Okay, I didn't quite get it. That's okay. There's like a little mini skip where if you jump, you can actually avoid the trigger for these shields. I got it in my PB. I have yet to get it again, which is fine. Because they're kind of a weird skip. But hey, we did get some weird dialogue skip, so there's supposed to be like a conversation with our boss in this level named Zojalyx Stern, but he's not here. So we're actually about to finish this level. In order to finish this level, we have to destroy these hooks. Once you destroy 2 of the hooks, it then summons Zojalyx Stern in his very, very, very not OP. Not OP at all, ATST type thing, but, you know, it's fine, because we actually got a couple of upgrades earlier that was going to make Zojalyx Stern's fight be pretty well I don't want to say not interesting, because it is interesting, it's just not going to be very long. So we're going to throw this, blow that up. The skyhook is now technically destroyed. We just have to deal with Zojalyx Stern. So we're going to dash over here, grab this damage increase holocron, and just lay out a whole lot of lightning And that just absolutely melts through his health bar. And we're going to ninja throw lightning balls, grab his gun, and whack him in the face with it like a baseball bat, and then push him down on the ground, and that will end that fight. Hey, who did that? And now the skyhook is taken out, and that ends that level.
Who was she?
This is just a run that just kind of doesn't seem to stop sometimes. But we got a little bit of a quick little bit of downtime before we get into our next level, Felucia. We're going back to Felucia to now save Organa. Because we need to save him from the bad guys, because Shakti's apprentice turned to the dark side and kidnapped Senator Organa. So we're going back to Felucia to save him. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Maddie to give my voice a little bit of a break and stay hydrated.
Absolutely. Gotta stay hydrated. That goes for all of you out there as well. Got a glass of water? Take a sip now. If you don't have a glass of water next to you, take a moment and go and get one. It's important.
To be able to sense my thoughts.
But I gotta ask, have you been loving this event? Do you want to get more involved? After this year, Running for Reals is looking to expand to be even bigger and better than ever. Hopefully even expanding into a 24-hour marathon. However, in order to do this, we need your help. Join our Discord and message Zojalyx, the man you see on screen right now, to see if there's a role that may be right for you. Use !Discord to learn more.
You're something to trade about.
And again, I have a question for
Shut
you.
up, Nate. And if you're thinking of escaping,
What? No, not that. Who is your favorite character in this game?
Ooh. All right. I want to hear everybody's in chat. I know there are people in chat, so I will answer this question. But then also, I want you guys in chat to also donate a $5 donation to tell me your favorite Star Wars character. So, this is where things get weird. If we're talking about the Star Wars canon you said in this game specifically, right, Maddie?
Yes.
Okay. In this game specifically, my favorite character is Starkiller, and I know that that's kind of like cliche picking the protagonist, but I think like his entire character development, and like if you actually like watch the story of this game, it's so cool to kind of see like okay, we're good. We are not stuck. Do not worry, we are not stuck. But you can kind of see like his entire character development and just see how he goes from believing that Vader is completely perfect and can do nothing wrong, but then learns that he's not what he said he was, and then like grows from that into then starting the Rebel Alliance. So I'm doing one more menu here. I'm gonna be grabbing a few things. I'm going to be grabbing Fortitude. That's a mystery tool that we will use later. And I think Saber Slam. Yep, we're going to grab Saber Slam as well. So now we have all of the abilities that we need to make our boss fights much, much easier, which is great. We like boss fights that are easier. So we are now back at the same Sarlacc pit that we fought Shakti at. And we are going to actually save it from being tortured by the Empire, because the Empire is literally mining its organs. And by doing that, we are going to do a couple of skips. So, whoa, we are going to not fall down. We're going to jump on this tooth, and then we are going to dash over here. This will get us to this section, skipping having to go over to the bridge. And by doing that, it also despawns enemies. We're going to do it again over here. We're going to dash over onto this tooth, which this one is much, much harder. But by dashing over here, we're able to get that one. That was that part of that trick. So for a while, we used to just do the first part of that tooth jump and then not do the second part, because I don't think we thought that the second part was even possible. But now we've done the second part. And for a long time, I struggled so hard to get that in practice. And then I took a break from the game, came back, and now it just works for me, and I don't really know why. But it basically is a nice little Sarlacc pit skip here. Well, until we actually go down into the Sarlacc pit. So in case you guys were ever wondering what the inside of a Sarlacc pit looks like, you get to learn that right here and now. So if these lights are not on, then the Sarlacc pit will suck us into the little pit areas there, and then we'll take a lot of damage and kind of get stuck for a little bit. We obviously don't want to do that. It's why you don't just fly through the Sarlacc pit here. Plus, there's this wind tunnel. We have to wait for a cycle here. I don't want to go too far and get caught by it. So now that that's done... Oh, boy. That's a little awkward. I'm going to play this. Yeah. Oh, boy. I miss button input, and this is what happens when you miss input. You start kind of ragdolling.
Well, is this a good time to plug one more thing?
Let's go for it.
As a reminder, as well as you're getting your $5 in for your favorite Star Wars character, there is still that open incentive to see C-3PO kill Darth Vader at the end of this game. And we are 50 minutes in, or near enough. And that is an amazing glitch that just happened there. I'm sure that's part of the run.
Unfortunately, no.
No, this is all intended. You're stalling for time, so we have more time for donations.
That has never happened before moment. I just fell through the floor. So that was very interesting. Oh, shoot. I should not have done that. I'm playing this much more risky. I hope I don't fall through the floor again. Although it would be kind of funny. But now you also have seen what happens when you go out of bounds in this game. It is a very weird experience. Oh, I thought I was behind that pillar. Oh, man.
So, I'll ask one more question then. So, we'll open it up to all of Star Wars, and who's your favorite character?
Okay. I love this question. So, in terms of the actual canon of Star Wars, so like stuff that is like officially recognized as Star Wars, my favorite character is the Clone Trooper. His designation number is CT55555. But if you've watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars, it's 5s. He is such a great character. My heart was very broken in the Clone Wars show. And if you haven't watched it, I'm not going to spoil it, but I think that kind of spoiled it already. And in terms of non-canon characters, my favorite non-canonical character is Starkiller. Starkiller is not considered canon by Star Wars, which is really a big bummer, but I would love to see him be canon and show up, but I don't think that will actually ever happen, unfortunately. Despite the voice actor Sam Witwer, huge shout outs to him. He also did express interest in wanting to play his character in a live action Star Wars movie, which I think would be amazing, but he even said himself that it's probably not going to happen. So, we're coming up to our next boss fight. We have a couple bosses that we have to fight. We have a Bull Rancor. So, if you know a Rancor from Return of the Jedi, it's a Rancor. You know, big, giant creatures that like to eat people. Well, apparently, there are bull versions of them. This one is bigger, scarier, and has horns. And so this is where we got one specific upgrade that is partially for this fight. And that is we upgraded our lightning shield. It is, well, a shield of lightning. And by picking up this lightning shield, what the heck? I don't think I've ever seen that fall down animation during this fight before. This is just a marathon of new things, and it's great. But we want to activate the lightning shield and then be underneath him and just absolutely whack him out. And then, yeah, we just continue to beat him up, and now we can finish him off with our quick time event. And then we're going to go right from this fight into Maris Brood. Maris is in a kind of an obnoxious fight if you don't know how she works, because she likes to go invisible, but it turns out she's not invisible to the lock-on mechanic of the game. So we can drop down here to fight Maris, because she's going to drop down right behind us. But what we can do to fight her is we can activate our lightning shield, lock onto her, and again, she just doesn't she just stays locked on. And look at how fast her health. That's it. That's the end of the fight. Because as long as we lock onto her, that allows you to keep track of her location, and then you just lightning shield her, and she just dies. She doesn't know how to counter that ability, and so it works out great. Because then we can just absolutely destroy her. So we actually only have 2 levels left in the entire run. We have Raxus Prime. We're going back to Raxus Prime. Because in order to show that the Empire is vulnerable, we have to destroy something that is Imperial. Which is fine. It just can be, it's fine going back to...
Join us because he's asking you to.
Going back to Raxus. Actually ends up having kind of a cool level. With a really cool boss fight. But we're going to go and blow up an Imperial shipyard to make the Rebel Alliance look appealing.
I don't know how many others will stand with us.
So we're going to go do that.
Surely you know some who
and that'll be fun.
There are other senators who have spoken out against the Emperor.
There also is a really cool moment that is great casually, but in the speedrun of this game is a little rough, but it's fine.
Let me meditate.
So we're just gonna get this all skipped up here.
Sure we can find the right target.
Once this load screen goes. Oh, and also at this point, our friends are going to realize that we're actually still serving Darth Vader. Because yeah, nobody actually is known besides Starkiller and our really cool droid Proxy, who can work like a holo communicator, but also has is a training droid, and as his protocol as a quote-unquote training droid is to find opportunities to kill Starkiller. So he is going to actually try and kill it. He progressively tries to kill Starkiller throughout the entire game, and it makes for some just really funny moments. Proxy is such a great character. And I love him very much. So yeah, we're now back on Raxus Prime. There's a lot of more junkers and stuff. They're here. They do their thing, which is great. They like to grab junk. So we're going to do another one of those aerial strike jumps that we did back in a previous level. So we are going to step right over here on the edge. We're going to grab this generator, and we're going to try and clear this gap here. And that looks good. Perfect. Oop, I want that. And this is also the level where you would see a really difficult skip come in, but we're actually not going to be doing it because it is very difficult and I have yet to actually get it in practice. If you want to see it, I highly recommend that you watch Pricey but Icy's run, because he put a lot of practice in. I think he was actually the one who discovered that it was plausible on PC. It was originally something that we could only do on console through the console exclusive glitches. So by watching his run, you can see that glitch get used, which it is a really cool skip, and I would love to be able to learn it. But alas, I have yet to do so. So we're going to fight a couple of enemies here. Once we've destroyed the right ones, then the door is going to open. So now that we've destroyed all the enemies, this door to the hangar opens. And then we can then proceed to move on to the rest of this level. So we just continue to dash our way. We have to be a little careful in this room because Those bigger troopers, they're called purge troopers. They have these missiles, and I have very much been hit off of this elevator. Oh, that was really close. But thankfully, I hit the trigger, so we didn't have to worry about it. Oh, careful. Careful now. Don't want to fall.
That tractor beam is maintaining the alignment of the cannon. If you can disrupt it, maybe it'll affect the firing pattern of the facility.
All right. So in this room, we have to come here and grab this invincibility. If we don't, doing this is very difficult. And I have died multiple times when I didn't have the invincibility for this room. But as long as you got the invincibility, this section is no biggie whatsoever. So we're going to be coming up onto our boss fight for the level. So remember when I said that we had to fight that our robot proxy likes to try and kill us? Yeah, he's actually the boss for this level. So he will attack us. And the way that proxy works is he will take like the shape of the different enemies that we have fought. So we're going to be seeing a lot of likenesses of other bosses. But thankfully, we have this really good ability that we can use that we picked up called Saber Slam. So what it is I'm going to do 1, 2... Oh, I just got to get close. Hit him 3 times with our lightsaber, and then I press B to do this slam. This will knock him down on the ground, and then I can just do a lot of damage to him. Because my lightning shield will do damage, and my stabs will do damage.
Suggests that this is the best time to attack. I am certain that I will finally fulfill my programming.
So as you can see here, he likes to morph into all of our bosses. And as you can see how much damage that first lightning shield did. Oh, hello. So we're going to once again do it. Lightning shield into our Saber Slam. And now we've eliminated his health. He has to cycle through all of the bosses before he will advance. Shock T is the last one. So thankfully, once he cycles through that, then he will start his final phase, which I will say, this is the greatest fan service in all of Star Wars.
Give me some credit, Master. I have one module you've never seen. An enemy I've studied for
That's a pretty bold claim there.
Yes, but look at who we have. We're fighting Darth Maul. Like, how do you not just... The last game that came out that you get to fight Darth Maul in was, I believe, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. And I'm not trying to diss on that game. That game is a great game. But this is the first game that came out that gave you like a full lightsaber combat style fight against Darth Maul here. He also has easily the hardest QuickTime event, hence why I messed it up there. But it's a super cool fight. The QuickTime event is super cool, and we destroyed him quickly because we have that Saber Slam ability. But then we just yeet him into this pillar and stab Darth Maul / Proxy, and we're just going to leave him there. And that's just going to be the end of it. Goodbye, Proxy. We don't need you anymore. Alright, so this is also... The level is not over yet. There is still one more section. We still have yet to blow up the shipyard. And we're going to go ahead and do that by firing off an orbital cannon. And in order to do that, we have to go and activate it. And rather than, go to the terminal and do it like that, all like techie and stuff, Starkiller is going to go and activate it by force lightning these tracks. And by overloading these tracks, the gun is just going to fire on its own and destroy the shipyard, which is great. except for the fact that when we do this, it is going to cause a Star Destroyer to come hurtling towards us. And this is why we got our 1 Fortitude upgrade, which upgraded our health. Because then, once we have everything overloaded, we are then going to be having to pull the Star Destroyer down onto the ground. And if you played this game casually, you definitely remember feeling very, very cool during this section. But if you are playing this game in a speed run, this section kind of sucks because the TIE fighters that we have to destroy half the time do not want to cooperate. And yet, as I'm saying that, this is the best they've ever cooperated because I'm able to just throw them into each other. Alright, so now we're going to pick up the Star Destroyer. And we have to put it in a very specific position. In order for... So, before we can pull it down, we have to put it in a specific spot. So we're going to set it up. And you're probably thinking, why is this so difficult that you needed the Fortitude? Well, if you see there in the background, there are TIE fighters coming at us. And they are going to start shooting at us. So... by getting them to the we have the Fortitude upgrade that allows it where we don't take as much damage, so we can sit here and pull this longer while the TIE fighters shoot at us. And I'm gonna play this a little bit safer just because we're in them. Actually, I might just go for it. We'll see if I can get the 2-cycle for this. The 2-cycle for this is very, very, very difficult, but if you can get it, it's really cool. So we're going for it right now. I'm going to also continue to try and force throw the TIE fighters into each other to destroy them quickly. This is going really well. Okay, so we destroyed those TIE fighters really fast. I don't think I've ever destroyed them that fast before. And then the Star Destroyer put itself in a really good position. Our health is looking really good. This is actually looking to be a fantastic Star Destroyer section. So I'm just trying to continue to pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. Hoping and praying I can get this into... See, this section, the 2-cycle can be very hard to determine whether or not you're going to actually get it, because the TIE fighters can hit you more or they can hit you less, or the Star Destroyer might not be in the best position, but we got it. Whew.
Nice.
So we pulled it down. We got the 2-cycle, and now we are getting ready to go into our last level, the Death Star. Because believe it or not, unfortunately, Darth Vader did not keep his word, and
all that will be destroyed.
He ended up using us to just get all of the Emperor's enemies together, and because of that, we're then going to have to now save our rebel friends from being executed by the Emperor.
Vader won't risk my mission, even if he has doubts
So,
about me.
we are going to
arrived?
sit here and try and skip this cutscene, but we're going to go save our friends. And this is where, guys, the time is running out on the C-3PO incentive. Once we get to the final room in the game, that is where you will be able to donate for that incentive, and that is where that incentive will close. So please get your donations in. We are right there, chat, and you definitely want to see C-3PO kill Darth Vader.
About how many minutes out do you think that's going to be?
I'd say probably around 5 to 10 minutes.
You heard it, folks.
So it's coming up
5-10
really
minutes?
fast.
Yeah. Got to get those donations in. $70 to see C-3PO kill Darth Vader. Now, don't know about you, but I want to see that. But with your help, we can make it happen.
Alright, so this area of the Death Star operates on a cycle through the lasers. So I'm going to have to move a little quickly because I did get a little bit bopped, which was not great, but we still should be okay.
Let them try.
We just need to get into this hallway here and we're fine. Okay, that's good. So this is also where the any percent part of the run would be about like 5 minutes in, because you just finished skipping glitches and then you end up here versus an hour. So that kind of lets you know where these runs go. And so it shows you how much content actually ends up getting skipped in the 80% run, which is crazy because there's a lot of this game to be able to play. So we're going to open this door. And then make our way to this laser RA. And then now that we hit this laser array, we're going to do a quick costume change because that will reload the checkpoint. I just changed my costume twice just to make sure. And the reason why that we're reloading the checkpoint is because every time that you reload the checkpoint in this game, it resets the cycle. So by resetting the cycle, we can then be right here, ready to go.
There should be a pair of spinning conductors that intensify the beam as it passes through the area.
So then when the beam fires, we can actually sneak our way through the little fire array here. Hit this checkpoint and then swap costumes again. Alright, chat, there's only like 2 minutes left. Get your donations in. Who wants to snipe it? We're going to do one more skip here with this laser array, and then we're going to go right into the next laser array. Or not the next laser array, but we're going to have another skip. There's going to be a little cutscene skip we're going to go for. We're going to try and dash through a trigger so that way we don't play a cutscene as we enter into the final main room. So once that final main room is over, chat, and we have entered the boss room, that is where the incentive ends. And that is when C-3PO will be able to kill Darth Vader or not. Also, that was the cutscene skip, that little airstrike there. By doing that, we then skipped having to... watch like a little room panorama. Alright, so we gotta fight one more Shadow Guard. Once we fight this Shadow Guard, then the incentive will be ending to fight Darth Vader as C-3PO. So please, guys, get those donations in. So do it. Do it now. I believe in you, Twitch chat. Alright, so for this fight, we're going to come over here. We're going to grab this health drain aura, and we're going to take out all these guys by slamming down on the ground. What is happening here? We're going to try and fight this Shadow Guard. Okay, got the Shadow Guard. That's good. I think is everybody dead? I think everybody is dead. Alright, Maddie, one more refresh. Did we get the incentive?
One more refresh it is. And unfortunately not.
Ah,
I'm sorry to say.
That's okay. Thank you guys so much for those who did donate, though. Obviously, any money that we do continue to raise for the Real Hope Project does mean an absolute a lot. So, guys, please do continue to donate. It is just... We're continuing to donate for an incredible cause. So, do continue to donate. We do have more incentives for tomorrow. So, please do, guys, continue to donate. It's what we're here for. And we're going to first start off by beating up Darth Vader. But we're going to do that by activating our lightning shield and doing our little saber slam here. Because then once he falls onto the ground, we can stab him a couple of times. So we're actually going to be going for one interesting cycle skip here. We want to skip his second phase, or skip his third phase. So we're just finished phase 1, and now we're going into phase 2. We're going to throw 2 things at him. And then we're going to airstrike again. And then we're just going to start absolutely destroying Vader. Hopefully we do enough. Oh, we did. Oh, my gosh. I didn't think that was going to work. Oh, my. Okay. I was not ready for that. But we did it. We got the cycle skip. So we managed to trigger the QuickTime event super early versus having to wait for him to jump to the other side. You have to be very specific with how you do your... I also just realized I did not upgrade my Saber Mastery to get my max damage for the end of this, which is really funny. But we're going to go ahead and do that now. So it's very easy to over damage him and make you not get that cycle skip. So thankfully we didn't do it, and now we're going to choose the bad ending because the bad ending is much, much faster, and we are going to once again show Darth Vader who is boss, even though he is very, very damaged, and we're just going to finish him very quickly here. So time will be coming up once I do the final QuickTime event. So it's coming up very quickly. One more Saber Slam into a Lightning Shield into a struggle fest of trying to get the last little bits of attacks off. Ow. And then, oh, come on. Well, you know what? We're going to go for like the swag ending here. So it's something really funny that we can do if Vader will cooperate. I'm just going to pick him up, drop him on the ground, make him do the splits, get one more stab. And then we're going to be finishing him off here. We're going to throw him into the wall, throw him into the window, throw him into the pillar, and then he's going to drop his lightsaber. We're going to pick it up, and then it will be time. And that was Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Any %, no mission skips. We have defeated Darth Vader and broken the Star Wars canon. So this game, there are 2 endings. There's a light side and a bad side. There's a light side and a dark side ending. The dark side ending is so much faster versus the light side ending, because in the light side ending, you do have to face the Emperor, and that is a much, much, much slower fight. So, So I don't know if this actually is the case. Hold up. I need to do something. I need to look at something here, chat. My brain has activated. And I need to look at this. Bear with me here. Okay, so okay, so this is where things get weird. So this is why the timing is weird. Because RTA-wise, I missed PB by 2 minutes and 1 second. I don't know what my load remove time was, but I'm assuming if I missed my RTA PB by 2 minutes, I would assume that I missed my load removed PB by about 2 minutes. If we were still going by in-game time, I would have PB'd by in-game time by 9 seconds. So, wow. That's why the in-game time is super weird, and I'm really glad that we don't go by it anymore. But either way, that was Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the run. If you want to watch more of this run, I will still be doing it. I love the game. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. But more importantly, support the rest of Running for Reals. Support the marathon, and then also support the rest of the Force Unleashed community. Lifelike did an incredible run at SGDQ of any %. Go watch that run. Lifelike is the best runner of this game. He's absolutely phenomenal. Pessilus is another incredible runner. Pricey but Icy, Kevin Hit, Schmalix. We have just an incredible community of runners. So please, guys, do continue to support that and everything that happens there. And with that, that will be the end of it for me here. This is my last run for this event, but you will still be seeing me around. I'll be behind the scenes for the entire rest of the event because the stream has run off of my computer. But either way, thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the last run of the marathon for tonight, and then we'll see you guys back tomorrow for future runs.
GG, Zojalyx, and thank you so much for that run. It was amazing. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And I hope all of you out there have been having some fun as well. If you are, spread the word. Give us a follow. Drop a line to the Discord. All of that good stuff. We're going to be getting set up for the next run, which is SCXCR running Tank, doing the Story Mission Plus category. So stick around for that. It's our last run for the day. And then we will be coming back again for another day tomorrow.